Hey, this is Greg with Crossing Jordan Ministries, and I felt compelled to make this video about the monetary system, the economic situation that's going on. That's why I've got the money on fire behind me here, because that's what's really happening. We're not getting the facts. The churches are not really talking about it. The news media on national news, they're barely talking about any of this. And everybody's got a lot of hope in Trump that Trump's going to fix everything. But first of all, let me give you a whole breakdown of all these problems that we have. It's not going to be a snap of the finger and Trump's going to get it all fixed overnight. That's just not going to happen. There's so many issues that are happening. To start with, let me show you this right here. More than a quarter of US adults are struggling financially. So they say there's 330 million Americans. Roughly, I think there's way more than that here because every city that's big in America is growing. It's probably close to 400 million. Then you add on all the tourists and everything else. But nonetheless, more than a quarter of U.S. adults are struggling financially. A 2023 survey conducted by payroll.org highlighted that 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Got that? 78% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. We are literally on the brink of a complete economic disaster. I don't know how they're going to avoid it. Even with everything Trump's doing, I don't know how they're going to avoid it. And I'm going to get down a whole bunch of things that have gone up. It's insane what's going on. It says in the pandemic, a third of Americans struggle to pay usual costs, even some earning over 100,000 a year. Imagine that. And that's true now, based on what's happened with all the costs across the board. And I'm going to get into a bunch of that. If you don't make $100,000 a year, husband and wife, or on your own, you aren't making enough to survive. You're most likely in debt, buried in trouble, and you're not going to get out. And that's not going to solve any problems making 100 grand a year anymore. You probably need to make about 250 grand. And even that isn't a lot of money when you add up all the costs in all the cities and what everything is running now. So I'll start with home prices. That one's a huge one. I live in Florida. Florida is probably one of the worst states for home prices in the entire country. They literally went okay like this, going up, and all of a sudden COVID hits, and I thought that they were going to go down because they shut down the transactions of people coming into the United States. You couldn't get on an airplane and just get into America. The borders were shut down. And yet our pricing for homes went through the roof, literally doubled and more, 50, 60, 70% increase in prices just in a short period of time, a couple years. And now we're starting to see a big feedback, a big setback from it. Here's what's happening. People can't afford all these houses anymore. They're not making enough money, and the inflation rates across the board on every front have gone through the roof. And I'm going to get into a bunch of that. First of all, most people can't even afford these homes anymore. Here in the Orlando area, you really can't get a halfway decent house for much less than $500,000 anymore. Yeah, you can get a townhouse outside of Orlando, and that's in the fours. Run the numbers. They used to say that you had to make enough to cover about 25% for your home living. So just run those numbers. Rent alone is a minimum of $2,000 for an apartment. In addition to the rent for an apartment, rent for homes is anywhere from 2,500 all the way up to 5, 6, 7,000. Just depends on the location, depends on the house. But I would say the average, if you just wanted to live in a halfway decent area, anywhere in Central Florida and rent a house, you're talking probably an average of around $3,000 to $3,500 a month. Run the numbers. Okay, 3,000, that's 36 grand a year just for your rent. That doesn't include all your bills. And that doesn't include all the other things that you've got to deal with on top of that. How are people affording that? Yet that's what's happening. I got to believe that we're on the brink of an absolute utter crash beyond anything we've ever seen before because I've never seen rates go up like this. And maybe that's exactly what they want. Burn the money, crash the system, come in with a whole new digital system that they think is going to save us all. And it's not. It's going to rob us all. And then we're going to be in total bondage, which a lot of us already are. So home prices through the roof, home and rent apartment prices gone through the roof. Now, here's the other thing that's happened with the inflation because the home prices went skyrocketing up like that. And it's happened all over the country. Rates have gone up everywhere, but in Florida, I think they've gone up maybe the most. Uh, but add on home taxes. Okay, so as the home prices have gone up, then the tax prices have gone up. Myself alone, I live in Winter Garden, Florida, and my tax prices have gone up an average of about $1,500 a year just on the increase in property taxes. Add on the electrical costs, the insurance costs, all the utility costs, you name it. Up, 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 and up. There's nothing that hasn't gone up. Home insurance is crazy. And the hurricanes are causing major problems with the home insurance rates on the west coast of Florida and on the east coast of Florida. They're having massive declines. The insurance companies don't even want to cover a lot of this stuff anymore. And those that are getting coverage have seen their rates go up a minimum of 42%. You can run those numbers on Google and see it yourself. But I think the numbers are up even higher than that. In many cases, they're up 100%. Somebody that used to pay maybe 2 grand, now they're paying 5 grand or 6 grand. So the prices of the homes gone up, the price of the taxes have gone up, the price of the homes have gone up. What else has gone up? Oh, let's add on car insurance. Florida is such a populated state. We have some of the worst drivers in America that live here now, and there are accidents and deaths everywhere, every single day, bumper to bumper traffic across the entire state. It doesn't matter where you are, it's utter traffic. And what are we seeing? Insurance on cars blowing through the roof. So you tell me how much money somebody needs to make a year to survive. And where are those jobs here in Florida? Yes, I'm not saying that they aren't all there. There are people that are making money if they're lawyers or accountants, or they're working for these big companies, or they figured out how to do a lot of stuff on their own, but that's not the average person. How about a lady that works at a school and she's got 3 kids and she's making like $40,000 a year to work at the school? And maybe she's divorced and her husband isn't paying her money. Do you really think somebody's going to survive on that? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Auto expenses. Let's add that onto this list of inflation. Blowing through the roof. First of all, the cost of cars is ridiculous. What you used to be able to buy houses for a number of years ago, 5, 6 years ago, now that's what it costs for a car. Oh, I want to get a new Escalade SUV. Oh, $100,000. This is 100 grand. That's 70 grand, 80 grand. It's insane what it costs just for a car. And then add on all the costs for the service of a vehicle. Auto costs to fix anything that's gone wrong with your car is skyrocketing. It's through the roof. Unbelievable. Stuff that you used to be able to do on your own, you can't anymore. They built all these cars with all these computers in them. Nobody can just do an easy fix on their own anymore. Everything is completely rigged, people. That's why I'm making this video. It ticks me off. Everything that we're battling is rigged. Auto expenses gone through the roof. Now, this is one of the worst. How about the inflation on groceries? How's that working for you? What used to cost somebody maybe $300 a week or $250 a week now costs them $400 and $500 a week. It doesn't matter what store you go into. You can look at everything that you're buying, and the rates have gone up, 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 and up, and they continue to keep going up, 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 and up. How's Trump going to stop all this? You're not going to just snap your fingers and all these issues are going to be resolved overnight. It's not going to happen. Groceries are insane, and then I don't know how people are able to do it anymore. Here's another cost that's gone crazy. Health insurance, medical costs, out of control, absolutely out of control. If you are on health insurance, if you have a family, I have a family. It used to cost me about 800 and something dollars a month, and I couldn't afford it anymore. And so those prices have gone up even more. If I wanted to get new insurance for my whole family again, it would probably cost me $1,500 minimum a month. And it's an 80/20 policy, most likely, which means they're not even going to cover 100%. So if something happens, you got to go to the doctor, this, that, or the other, 20% of that money is going to come out of your own pocket. Really? Keep the money burning like I got behind me there, because that's what the heck's happening to this country. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I'll talk about it because I'm going through these troubles myself, and I can't take seeing it anymore and seeing this ignorance that's happening across the board, and nobody wants to talk about the real facts that are happening. Here's another one that's gone nuts. Home electricity costs. Actually, I shouldn't even say home. It's across the board, but home is terrible. On average, and you can look up, Duke Energy is one of the biggest providers here in the state of Florida. Most people in the last couple of years in the state of Florida have seen a 42% increase in electrical costs on everything just in the last couple of years. Really. So health insurance through the roof, electrical costs through the roof. Oh, how about the gasoline prices? Where are they? Yeah, they've gone down a little bit. They were up at over $4 a gallon not too long back. They've gone down, then they keep going up and down, up and down, up and down, and nobody knows what's going to happen. Yes, a lot of what Trump is saying could potentially make the prices drop quite a bit. If we become energy independent, which we should be, that can help. But that isn't going to solve all these other problems that I talked about immediately. Here's something else. Maybe people would think this is selfish, but home pools. It used to cost about maybe 50 to $60,000 about 5 years ago to get a nice pool put into your home. You could have your whole backyard done. That price has gone up about double, in some cases, even more than that. So now it would cost you on average about $120,000 to add a pool to your house. How many people are going to be able to do that now? It's not going to happen. Here's the other thing through the roof. Everything we use electronically, digitally, whether it's your cable TV, Netflix, all the apps on your phone, Amazon, all those prices have gone up, 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 and up. If you don't want to have cable in your house anymore, you want to use any of the other ones, it's crazy. Between the internet and the cable services, you're looking at close to $150 to $200 a month. Nobody's got cheap stuff anymore. Everybody's raising their rates. If you're in business, it's even worse because everything that goes on in the business world has gone through the roof. So just in the food and supplement business, the pharmaceutical business, the cost of plastic has gone way up. So what might have cost you 30 cents a few years back now cost you maybe 50, 60, 70 cents. There's shortages across the board on everything. So that alone has gone crazy. Shipping costs. Anybody that's paying attention to this that is involved in this industry knows exactly what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter whether it's the post office, UPS, FedEx, or any of the truckers that deliver pallets. All of their costs have probably doubled in the last couple years. It's ridiculous. And then you get people who will call you and say, "Oh, can't you ship me something for $4 or $5?" No, you can barely send a letter out to somebody anymore for less than $1. It's ridiculous what's gone on. So add those costs on to everything across the board that's happening. It's horrible. It's horrible. And those prices now go to Amazon and everybody else. So sooner or later, there's going to be rock bottom, and that rock bottom is going to be the money burning because that's where we're headed. A total economic collapse if things can't change dramatically. And I don't know how they're going to. I really don't. Trump is talking about doing a lot of good things. Potentially, he definitely can. I think a lot of companies will maybe move back to America. He's going to put um, He's going to put restrictions on a lot of stuff coming into the country, but some of that may actually make things worse. We don't know. We really don't know. The tariffs that he's talking about putting on some of these countries, they're already saying now that's going to increase prices more. So just a little bit that I've already talked about. If what Trump says happens and people want to start paying us back in a bad way for it, then those fees and those prices are going to keep going up across the board. We're not totally energy independent in America to be away from everybody. I hope that we were and are, but we're not right now. How about trips and vacations? Most people want to take a vacation. Look at what it costs now for an airline ticket. Those prices have gone up about 50% just in the last couple of years. Flights that you used to be able to get for 200, $300, they're hardly available anymore. Now it's $600. Oh, it's $800. It's insane. It's insane. Oh, I'm into snow skiing. It costs just out in west now. If you want to go snow skiing, okay, I went to Park City, Utah. Uh, it cost $350 a day for a lift ticket. A lift ticket that if you went back, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, you could have gotten one of those tickets for a fraction of that price. I remember going skiing back in the 90s. I went out to Vail and I remember when it was $40 for a ticket. Then I remember when up to 75. Now, $350. It's crazy. And then add on the cost of the rooms and everything else. And people think, well, it's a bunch of good, successful people in America that made a lot of money and they're buying all this stuff. No, what's really happening, and if you really pay attention, is that the corporate global elite are dominating the entire world. All these troubles that people are going through, they love them because it's allowing them to come in and buy everything out for fractions of the penny on the dollar. It's insane. It really is. What's happening is insane. Theme parks. Oh, you can come to Disney. I live here in the Orlando area. You want to go to Disney? 200 and something dollars a day for a ticket. So your flight's expensive, your lift's expensive, the hotel's expensive, the food's expensive. I've done Uber driving. I've talked to a number of people from all over the world, and they're coming here and they're in shock. They look at our food costs and they're like, oh my gosh, What in the heck has happened? I can't believe how much it costs for food. I talked to somebody, I believe it was from Ireland, and they said, what it costs me in 1 week in America to buy food, I can survive for at least a month over in Ireland. That's happening everywhere. Our food, and we're the number one farming country in the world. We grow the most food anywhere. We could feed the entire world 10 times over with the amount of land we have and the amount of farms that we have in the United States, but we don't have that. We had over 400 food plants that burned down in the last 3, 4 years. Insane. Oh, it was all just an accident that they burned. These companies are all owned and controlled by a handful of global elite that can't stand our country. Oh, that's good. And we're going to trust them now for our food and our housing and our cars. Get real. It's not going to happen. Welcome to the nation that's on fire financially. It's crazy. Now, they don't want to talk about this on the news to this level. How about the damage that the hurricanes have caused? Just in North Carolina alone, Hurricane Helene, they say, estimates at $53 billion in damage. It's probably more than that, and that's just North Carolina. You can add on Georgia, you can add on South Carolina, you can add on Tennessee, you can add on Florida, and the damage is way up through the roof. Is that going to get resolved anytime soon? Most likely not. California, just the fires alone in California, they estimate 250 to 275 billion dollars in damages. This whole country's going down the tubes. I'm not going to sit here and sell you lies that people want to hear. Oh, things are good. Oh, I got a good job, but things are getting better or getting better. No, they're not. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do have money and that are doing well in this country, but that's in the percentage case, it's a low percentage compared to the people that are really struggling. We're talking about close to 100 million Americans that are literally on the brink of bankruptcy or losing everything, paycheck to paycheck, one little event, one little thing, and it's over. That's where we're at in the United States, thanks to inflation. And people think, well, inflation, why did they let it happen? Oh, it's so bad. It's not bad for the global corporations that run everything. They love inflation because that's where they come in and they steal everything when there's inflation like this. This is global theft. These people are pirates. They really are. They're pirates. So let me get into some other things. Home appliances. If you need to get a new air conditioning system in your home, something like that, maybe 5 years ago, would have cost you potentially around $4,000. Now it's 7,000, 8,000, 10,000. Oh, we got to wait 2 months to get you the equipment. Everything through the roof, almost double or more just on the cost for new air conditioning. A hot water heater. Oh, I need a new hot water heater. Those prices through the roof. Those things have gone up about 50% as well. Nothing's cheap anymore. Oh, you need a new refrigerator through the roof, dishwasher, you name it. All these appliances. Furniture, go to the furniture store and see what you can get. Way up. Nothing's cheap anywhere anymore. Nothing. Oh, you need to paint your house. A gallon of paint that used to cost $25 is now like $70 and $80 for paint. Paint costs double and triple what it used to cost to paint stuff. And people think this is going to go on long. There's no way it's going to last this long. It can't. Roofs. Oh, you need to get a new roof on your house. And here in Florida, about every 10 to 15 years, you need a new roof. Between the heat, the sun, the hurricanes, the wind, all the damage, wear and tear, you name it. And it's probably going to cost the average person about $25,000 just to get a new roof put on their house. And not the insurance company won't cover it in many cases. Sometimes it's out of your own pocket. How's that working for everybody? How's that for financial freedom? It's not good. Then let's go to the pharmaceutical industry. They love jacking their prices up. They have jacked their prices up through the roof. Here, I'll just use one example, EpiPen. EpiPen now costs $650 to $750 for one shot. 20 to 30 years ago, you could have got one of those things for about $20 to $25, $30 tops. I know because I've bought them before. I used to be able to get them for $29 a piece. But no, now they're $650 to $750. That's just EpiPen. Then you add on everything else that they're selling to the hospitals, you name it, and their prices are just through the roof. Hospitals and medical costs. So, years ago, something happened. Oh, my kid fell, he broke his ankle, he hurt his arm or whatever. You'd go to the hospital. These things wouldn't cost this kind of money. Now you go to the hospital for anything like that, and if your insurance doesn't cover it, You're going to get bills. Oh, it's $10,000, $20,000 to do this, that, or the other. Welcome to America. You know, we need another couple billion people to move into America because our country's better than it's ever been. We've got everything everybody needs. We can take care of everybody. We can't even take care of our own country. It's an insult. Nutritional supplements. Everything has gone up, 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 and up, and up. From the plastic to the labels, to the production, to the electricity, to all the things that the government mandates on these companies now. Everything has gone up, and the price of that has made everything go through the roof in price. You can't find anything that's cheap anymore. Even at Walmart now, you can't find stuff that's cheap. It's crazy. How about the major businesses that have gone Chapter 11? I'm not even going to read them all to you. They don't even want to talk about that. You want to talk about inflation? There are millions of businesses literally on the cusp of going out bankrupt. Just in 2024 alone, and I'm not even going to read the whole list to you. Just in 2024 alone, some of the major companies that went Chapter 11, let's see, Red Lobster, Big Lots, Joann Fabrics, Avon Products. I'm not going to read them all to you. I'm just skipping through. Badcock Home Furniture Store. Let's see. Bed Bath & Beyond, David's Bridal, Revlon. You name it. I could keep going on and on. J.C. Penney, Ruby Tuesday, Friendly's, Steak and Shake, Sizzler, California Pizza Kitchen. Let's see. Men's Warehouse. Bop, 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 bop. Earth Fare, which was a good health food store that competed against Whole Foods, Chapter 11. Let's see, J. Crew, that's a big clothing store that's in a lot of the malls around America, Chapter 11. Let's see, who else? There's so many. I can't even really read them all to you, and I don't know every single one of them, so that's why I'm not going to read them all to you here. But I'm scrolling through, see if there's a few more. That's basically all that I can think of at the moment. So Chapter 11, out of control. Personal bankruptcy, out of control. Financial struggles, out of control. Our economy, terrible. And then you're going to turn on CNBC or Fox Business. Oh, the stock market went up 400 points today. Really? It's all about the global companies that all have their money into the market, but that doesn't have anything to do with the average American who's going through all these struggles and all these troubles. So you shouldn't even really listen to what's happening with the stock market because it's not what's really happening to the American people. What's happening is total financial destruction. I don't know how else to say it. And there's so much more I can get into. I just wanted to make this video. I felt compelled to make this because I'm frustrated and aggravated by what's happening. Because I see all this, I'm going through a lot of it myself, and I look at all these numbers and all these facts, and I'm like, I can't believe this. I gotta wake more people up. We really need churches to wake up and start talking about a lot of these things because they all need help. People need help. The homelessness in America is through the roof. The unemployed is way up. And if you're trying to find a job, you can put a job into 100 places and you might get one call back if you're lucky because everybody's looking for better jobs and help on all fronts. And they're not telling us all this in the news. They don't want to tell us. They want us to have this false positive feedback that somehow, oh, things are good, things are good. You know, without Trump, it was going to crash this year. Absolutely guaranteed 100% it was going to go in the tank and they were going to come and take everything. That was part of the Democratic plan. With Trump, he's doing a lot to supposedly try to fix it. Yes, some of the things he's doing definitely can. Some of them can't, or some of them may not. I don't really know how it's all going to go. I hope and pray that some things get better. But biblically speaking, anybody that pays attention to the scriptures and reads them and understands them and knows what's going on, I think that we're in those times. Things are going to get crazy. They're going to come in with this whole new AI technology. They're going to come in with new digital currency. Yeah, it might not be the CNBC, central bank digital currency. It's going to be some kind of cryptocurrency or something else. I don't know what it's all going to be to this level, but I know that they're going to come in and then they're going to tell you, we can fix everything. We can help you through your troubles. We can fix your bankruptcy. We can fix your loss. You're going to have to be part of their new system to do that. Exactly where they want to take us all. It's going to lead to the eventual mark of the beast system that's coming in. Whether that happens immediately or not, I don't know. But it's not far away, that I can tell you. And that's why the money's burning, and that's why our system's in the toilet. Please share. Thank you for watching.